Hello guys, this is chapter 2 from .NET Word. Add a radio button and checkbox value to the database. Here I have created one web form. It contains two fields, gender and hobbies, and this value we are going to store into the database, that is SQL Server. For that we required new ASP.NET project. Here I have created one and give it a name web app 1. Just right click that, go to add new item and then waveform. Give any name to your waveform. Here I have given emp add and click on add. The page will look like this. Now just add one table. The first row of table is our gender field. Drag and drop label from our toolbox and modify it text as gender. Second content we require is the radio button. So just drag and drop radio button from the toolbox. Here we require two radio button, that's why I copy and paste it. Add text for your first radio button, male. For second, female. Here we will add group name. Group name allow you to click single radio button. If you do not add group name, then you can select both radio button at one time. This is our first row for our gender field. Now we are going to add our second row for our hobbies. Take label for hobbies. Modify text as hobbies. Second content we require is the checkbox. So just drag and drop it. Here we require two checkbox just so that I'm copy and paste it. And add text as reading. For second, add text as writing. This is our second row, which is of hobbies. Now we will add third row for our button. Now just drag and drop button control and modify it text as submit. I am going to show you the design of this web form. When you open it to the browser, it will look like this. Now double click submit button to create event for that button control. This is the event of your button control into the class view. Here we are going to fetch the values of our gender and hobbies field. For that I take variable as gender. If the radio button 1 is tick, then we will fetch the value of radio button 1 into our gender variable. This radio button 1 is the ID of our first radio button. Here you can see this is the ID of our first radio button. So if radio button 1 is tick, then we will fetch that value into our variable. Else if it is not tick, then our second radio button value will get fetched into the gender variable. Radio button 2 is the ID of our second radio button. Now we will fetch value of our hobbies. For that I take variable as hobbies. If checkbox 1 is checkbox 1 is the ID of our first checkbox. If user tick that, then the value of first checkbox will be stored into the hobbies variable. For that I add condition checkbox 1 dot check equals to true, then store value into the hobbies variable. Else if first checkbox is not tick, then stored value of second checkbox into our hobbies variable. Here I have take hobbies plus checkbox 2 dot text, means if the user not tick the first value, then hobbies 2 value gets stored into the hobbies. If it tick both, then both value gets stored into our database. To make connection with the database, I will add namespace, that is using system.data. I am using system.data.sql client. Now here we are going to make connection with the database. For that we have to create connection using SQL connection class. So I just write SQL connection, create object of that, and write data source. Data source is the name of our server. Here this is my server name, so I just write it. Now second one is the initial catalog. Initial catalog is the name of your database. Here my database name is demo, so I just write it. Integrated security equals to true. If you want to make connection with the database, then you have to add these 3 parameters to your SQL connection class. Now the second step is to create query. So I will just create query over here, string query. I want to insert this data, so I will write insert query, insert into table name. Here I have created one table into the SQL server and give it a name person. So I will write person in my Visual Studio, insert into person, then values. I will put values of my variable. That is first gender, then second one is the hobbies. Now we will put query and connection object into the SQL command class. So just write SQL command, put query and connection object. Now open connection, execute query, then close connection. At last I want to give user a message that your data is saved successfully. So I just write respond.write data saved successfully. Just go to your design page, right click that and view in browser. When you open this, it will show you whole web form that you have created. This is your web form. Tick value, tick hobbies, and just click on submit. When you submit, it will give you message data saved successfully. Now just go to your SQL server, execute select query, and you can see your data get saved. Thank you for watching video. Just don't forget to subscribe.